Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video, we are going to take a look at the Korg Volca Beats and see what we can get out of the synth or the drum machine, and it sounds like this. So if you're like me and when the Volcas first come out, you jumped at the Volca Beats, and when you got it, you were like, okay, this is okay. It's a little bit noisy. Some of the sounds, like the snare and everything, are a little not the best, but I still feel like there's a little bit in here that we can get the most out of it. So I had to play around with for a while, sort of see what I could do, and I found that with the addition of a little kick rumble, that we could turn this into a techno powerhouse. Well, it sounded really good to me. So let's look at what I've done on the actual channel, and then we'll have a quick look at the techno rumble, and then we can start to program and see how good it is and see how usable it can be in today's production. So first up, this is the little kick channel, and all I've got on there is we've got a little EQ. I have this vintage warmer, just added in a little bit of the knee, and that's it. And then we've got the decapitator, just adding a little bit of drive, and then I just pulled the tone down just to give it a little bit of a darker sort of sound. So if I play the kick, if I play what I've got, what have I got going on here already? Let's do it off the, cue it up from Logic. There we go. It takes a little bit for it to kind of catch up. But you can see there, if I take these off now, it just loses that little bit there. So EQ adds a little bit more punch. Vintage warmer, a little bit more volume and just a little bit more oomph in the low end, and then the decapitator adds that sort of bit more drive into it. So along with this, I found that when I programmed any of the patterns, it just felt a little bit flat. Obviously you can come along and start to open the kick up like that, but I found that it just kind of ate everything up in the space. It just kind of ate all the room up, and it didn't really allow for too much. So I went and added this little rumble channel here. So if I solo that out, and it's going to be pretty low. So if you don't have headphones or studio monitors, you're probably not going to hear this too much. And the idea behind this was from Underdog Techno, let me get this right. I don't want Underground Electronic Music School, and I'll leave a little link to the video that he did, and I just kind of used his as a bit of a guide and then changed it because some of the settings just weren't really sitting for what I wanted, so I just made a little adjustments. So 99.99% of the credit for this goes to him. So definitely go check out your channel. And if you're seeing this and you've seen the techno written on the icon or the thumbnail rather, he is the one that kind of come up with this. I just kind of adapted it a little bit more. So we've just got the kick into the Valhalla, into the OTT, and I've just got an EQ taking off all the highs there. Another little filter, kind of just tighten it up a little bit more. Actually, we can even go 24 dB again to make it mono, and then an LFO just to kind of dip it like a sidechain sort of thing. So again, I'm not going to go into this too much in detail, but check out his channel and check out the video he did. He goes into way more depth and covers all aspects of it, and it's really, really good. So definitely check him out. So that, along with the kick that we have from the Volca, and it already starts to sound amazing. So you can hear that if I take that off. It's kind of empty, and that just fills up that low end really, really nicely. And it already, to me, you can use the kick with this and then start to make some really good music. You don't have to use the rest of the drums on here. You can start to add your own drums and loops and all that sort of stuff. So you could even come along and start to shape this a little bit more, changing the pitch and whatnot, and adding a little bit more if you want more of a click on there. But for me, I just wanted that sort of nice subby kick with the rumble going along with it. I like that there. And then for the decay, it's obviously none there. If I find that sweet spot, so it's going to give me, it's going to go from the decay of the kick into that rumble. And there we go there. So already I feel like this is very usable. You got an analog kick with your rumble, and it's a really good starting point to start making some techno and whatnot. But we still have all of these other sounds on here. So let's make the most of it and see what we can come up with just using the Volca and the rumble, and see how it sounds. So the snare, to me, I still couldn't get my head around it using it. It just sounded very weird. So let's miss that one. We'll miss the toms for now, and let's go to the open hat. So we got that. There we go. Just looking for that sort of sweet spot there, and then just get it tucked in the mix nicely. We could come along back to the close hat. And I like it that the kick is kind of, it's like compressing the other elements. So if I take out the kick, you can see they bring up in volume a little bit and they don't get so distorted. So when you got a hat and a kick together, you start getting that sort of distorted sound. And you'll hear that more when I add the clap in. So let's go on to the next part, which is the clap. So we'll add those in. And then this is where we can start to use the speed here. And one thing we can also do is add a little bit of motion, so each of the claps is going to be a little bit different. So we can come along, function, and then we actually let's clear all of them. And So we've got our little pattern going again. We'll go over to the clap. Go function and we'll go speed. And then find that magic area that we're like happy with it. And then let's just go. So now we've got two different levels with those claps. Some people might not like that, but I like to like just kind of mix it up and keep it a little bit more randomness sort of thing. Got the clave, so let's turn the part down a little bit. And then let's give it a little bit more motion on there as well. You kind of add on a little bit more and then let's pull that down in the mix just a little bit as well. I like that there, it's just sitting in nicely. So next we have like this little sort of bell hit sort of thing. I think that would be a cool little sound to put on it, so let's wait for it. Got a couple of sounds going now, so even if we start to look at sort of muting some of them, you can hear that clap comes up when I get rid of the kick. I like the hats, but they're a little bit high in the mix for my liking at the moment, so let's come along. That's a bit better there. And now we have this crash. Okay, kind of trying to get it to like a centered. That's the kind of effect that I'm going to go for, so pull that down in the mix a little bit. And then obviously, if we come across to the mute function, we can sort of get rid of these and just kind of play those little parts that we have dipping and then coming up and down and whatnot. So get rid of the clap. Come along, get rid of the kick, and then we start to use these the stutter amounts, and I find that these are really good for the turnaround effect. So And I think it comes along really well. So if we have something going that it's pretty decent, so what we can do now is we can just mute out the rumble and hear how the whole sound kind of changes. It goes from something that you can feel that's driving and feeling like it's pretty decent to just, you can even slightly bring this up. Gotta bring the drums up a little bit. And they're all going to go into the effects a little bit harder. And for like starting an idea, I feel like this is super solid start. So now let's have a look if we start to add maybe one more element like an acid line in there, and then you can kind of see how everything will come together. So I've just got a little acid line going and I can play that. It's from the other video I did about acid lines and how you can use them. So I'm going to leave a little link up in the corner so you can check that one out. And this is the acid line. Nothing too crazy. And yes, I'm using a plugin for this because I didn't want to go and get the actual 303 all set up and whatnot. And then along with everything, so we can mute out these little movement bits. And then what we can do is I found that when I have the little clave, it was like too much information going on. So we can go across to the clave part and then just get rid of those. That works a little bit better there. And then we can start to bring in the other bits sort of on and off. So you take the kick out again. And there you go, there's like a really good start to sort of that more hypnotic sort of techno using the Korg Volca and a little bit of help from the kick rumble made. So that's about it for today. Hopefully you've got something out of it, and hopefully this inspired you to maybe dust off the old Korg Volca Beats if you've got one, or just to create something in general. And until next time, see you later.